What's up guys, Heatfireash here, and as you know, Series 5 is going to be starting very soon for Pokemon for VGC doubles and also for singles on the ranked ladder. We are going to be getting that new Series 5 rule set here right in July, and with that comes a whole bunch of new exciting things. We get to use Pokemon from the Isle of Armor that previously were not allowed. We also get a whole bunch of new moves from the Move Tutor, and also we get to use Pokemon from Pokemon Home previous generations that we can sort of upgrade in the game, and we'll be able to use them in ranked as well. If you want to find out how to do that to your Pokemon Home Pokemon, I have a video discussing how to do that. That'll be down in the description below, so check that out if you want to find out how to do that. But with this, there's going to be a whole bunch of new teams people are going to be using with these new Pokemon, and in this video I basically just want to go off and show off a couple of the teams that I've been thinking about, teams that other people have been talking about, and how they're going to work, and probably what the meta is going to look like for the first couple of weeks anyway. And I just want to show these teams so you guys have a good idea of what you can expect right when that Series 5 hits, and maybe you can even start building these teams early so you have them ready when it goes live. Please hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy the content, and follow me on Twitch so that you can be there whenever I go live. All right, let's get into it. The first team I want to go over here is going to be sort of based on Terrakion and Whimsicott, and this sort of strategy existed pretty early on in the VGC doubles ladder. We saw this beat up strategy with Whimsicott on Lucario and Arcanine, and that's because of the Justified ability here, which raises the attack one stage after it's hit by a dark move. And then Whimsicott here uses beat up, and this hits multiple times. I believe it hits 4 times or 5 times. And what this does is it just makes your attack go crazy high. I believe it raises it by 4 stages, so you're going to be hitting super hard. And look at this Terrakion. It's already got 129 attack. That is so strong. Pairing it with something like a Life Orb, and it's 108 speed, so it's going to be outspeeding a lot of stuff in the format. So by doing this strategy, using the beat up with Whimsicott on a Terrakion, you're going to be hitting so hard. And Terrakion gets a pretty good move pool. Close combat obviously is going to be stab. Also, you can go for stuff like Rock Slide. It does also get Stone Edge, and also Iron Head, which is going to be very good for fairy type stuff like that. Not to mention now with Dynamax, Terrakion can Dynamax, which is just absolutely insane in my mind. And I do believe this is going to be a strategy we are going to see quite a bit, with just a max damage Terrakion basically with all these strong moves. You're going to have the Whimsicott. You're going to be setting up beat up on turn 1 and just throwing that at the Terrakion, getting that huge attack boost. And then also after that, you're going to have Tailwind support. So with Focus Sash, you're easily going to be able to beat up on turn 1 and then Tailwind on turn 2. And then from there on, Terrakion basically is just going to be able to knock out your opponent's team. Just because of the sheer damage output it has and the extra bulk it's going to get with Dynamax, it is going to be almost impossible to get rid of it. Now, of course, with this, there are going to be some other things you can also do, because Virizion here and also Cobalion both also get the Justified ability. Now, if you look at the stats here, none of these have the same attack power as Terrakion. Terrakion has 129 attack. This has 129 special defense. So, you know, much more bulky in terms of special defense than Terrakion, but, you know, 90 attack is not crazy. That's pretty mediocre, to be honest. But even if you only have 90 attack, if you're getting that beat up off and getting that huge boost, you're still going to hit super hard, not to mention you're a little more tankier. So, you know, Virizion is definitely another option. It does get Leaf Blade, so if you're looking for grass coverage on your team, could be a good option. Yeah, you could also go with maybe a little more of a defensive build instead of, you know, I didn't even put EVs here, but you go with more defensive build, maybe throw a barrier or something on it to make it a little more tanky. But definitely still going to be an option that you can go for with that Justified ability with the beat up. Cobalion's kind of in the same boat, and it has its 129 stat in defense here. And again with the 90 attack, but you can throw an Assault Vest on this guy, and then he's going to be super tanky. You're going to be getting the 1.5 times special defense from the Assault Vest, and then you still have the huge defense, regular defense, and then you're still getting, you know, stab, iron head, and close combat. It does get poison jab. Also, Virizion and Copalion also do get bounce. So if you do go for a Dynamax, you can go ahead and get that speed boost as well with the max airstream, which is really, really cool. But this is definitely kind of the first strategy that I think we're going to be seeing. The justified ability with Whimsicott is going to be very, very strong, and you definitely are going to need a counter to this kind of strategy on your team when Series 5 hits. The next team I want to go over is going to be a rain team. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I've used a rain team before, and that was utilizing Pelipper, and Pelipper is not very good. Politoad is way better. Pelipper is 4 times weak to electric, which is a huge liability. Not to mention it's not very tanky. It's not very, it's not good in attacks. It's just not a very good Pokemon. But with Pelipper, it's pretty bulky, right? We got a nice 100 base special defense, which is pretty good. 90 special attack, not terrible for a supportive Pokemon. 90 HP, so much more tankier. And like I said, not being 4 times weak to electric is great because often you'll be able to tank an electric hit, that's a huge deal. Plus, you can run, you don't have to run Focus Sash. You can leave your Focus Sash for somebody else, which is very helpful. But we can load it up here. Helping Hand, obviously a great ability. Scald is just, you know, kind of standard stab water move. Might get the burn. Definitely. And also, don't underestimate how much a 90 special attack Scald in Rain hits. It hits pretty hard. Like Rain is so nice. Obviously, that Drizzle ability setting up Rain. And then it also gets access to Perish Song, which honestly, you can just win games on this on your own. If you're ahead at all against your opponent, go ahead, throw out that Perish Song, and you can use Protects to try to stall out the game, especially if they haven't used their Dynamax yet. A lot of times that can be used if you're already ahead, which is pretty nice. And then to go along with that, our special attacker with Swift Swim is going to be Kingdra, which is another new Pokemon from the Isle of Armor. And honestly, Kingdra, if you look at its stats, 95 special attack is nothing super crazy. But when you're pairing it with Swift Swim, so you're going to be just outspeeding everything pretty much. Plus the Life Orb boost. Plus, now that you're Dynamaxing in the rain, your max water move, just your max water move is going to be hitting so hard. You already have that rain up. Usually you would have to, use the max water move first, set the rain that way. Not with a rain team, which is really great. We also get access to stuff like Flash Cannon, Hurricane for extra speed boost if you need it, and of course Draco Meteor, Stab Draco Meteor is really great. So I would definitely be on the lookout for rain teams, as this is going to be definitely a popular strategy, and I feel like Politoad is kind of a fan favorite, so be on the lookout for this team. Now, the last team that I'm going to be going over is sort of the Psychic Spam team. Now, this doesn't even have to be like an entire team based around this. You can actually just use Indeedee if you want by itself, but Indeedee is going to be needed for every version of this. So first off, you can use a male Indeedee. This one I'm throwing on a Choice Specs because male Indeedee does have slightly more special attack than female Indeedee. Throwing on Choice Specs, max speed. And this is all because of this new attack, which is Expanding Force here. It's 80 power, 100 accuracy, 1.5 times power. Okay, that's a Choice Specs boost in and of itself. And hits all foes under Psychic Terrain. So you're going to be setting up that Psychic Terrain with your ability Psychic Surge. Then you're going to be hitting both foes plus 1.5 times power. And you're going to be having the Psychic Surge boost. Right? That's another 1 point. That's another, or not 1 point. It used to be 50%. Now it's 33%. So now you're at 1.88 plus another Choice Specs. You're doing over double damage that you would normally do with this. So you're going to be hitting extremely hard. And this is just one Pokemon. Like, you can do this just with male Indeedee. But there's going to be probably more popular, I would say, is going to be using female Indeedee. So still get that Psychic Surge ability. You probably still want it knowing Expanding Force, although like I said, it does have a 95 special attack, so it's going to be a little bit lower, not hitting quite as hard. And you might make this one more defensive, or maybe go for speed and HP, because you do want to be more supportive with this role. You're going to throw in Follow Me, because you're going to be having another Psychic user that's going to be using Expanding Force mainly. So you probably want to keep that one alive. So you definitely want the Follow Me. Also, you can throw on Helping Hand and a Protect. You know, you could throw some other stuff in here if you wanted. You know, Fake Out's pretty bad. Don't go with Fake Out with Psychic Surge. But, you know, Light Screen, Mystic Fire, stuff like that if you want to have some different options. And then you're going to need yourself a Psychic Attacker. And the main one that I've seen people use so far is kind of Alakazam, which is another new Pokemon from Isle of Armor we get access to. And look at that, 135 special attack, 120 speed. I mean, this thing hits super, super hard. Throw on a Life Orb. I mean, that Expanding Force is going to be destroying opponents. That's going to be hitting so hard with that 135 attack, or special attack. It also gets the Magic Guard ability, which is cool because there are a lot of G-Max Charizard, even like the new G-Max Venusaur and Blastoise. They all set up that like sort of whirlwind, damage you throughout every turn sort of thing. So Magic Guard protects you from that, which is pretty nice. You also throw on like a Focus Sash if you want, because Alakazam is not the most defensive, and you probably are going to want to be maxing out on attack and special attack. So if you want a little more survivability, maybe throw a Focus Sash on there. But I think for me, I'm probably going to be trying out just the full damage with Life Orb off the bat. And lastly, another way you can run it, which if you know the channel, this is just a personal favorite of mine, is going to be Hatterene. And of course, G-Max Hatterene. Why not? And of course, it wouldn't be a Hatterene without Trick Room. And this is just going to be a crazy set. Obviously, you get the Expanding Force. Look at that, 136. Did I just freak out about Alakazam having 135? We have 136, even better. Now, obviously, we're slower, but we can set the Trick Room. And with that Psychic Terrain up and Expanding Force, I mean, we are going to be mowing through. Not to mention, we still do have the ability to use our G-Max Fairy move. That's going to be hitting very hard and confusing our opponents, which is pretty cool. We get the Magic Bounce. And on this, I decided to go with the Babbery Berry because of one reason. We can tank a hit from Terrakion Max Steel Strike, an Adamant Terrakion with Max Steel Strike. We can tank one with Babbery Berry. It'll only hit us for about 50% damage. And then we can set our Trick Room, and then we can just one-shot it with Expanding Force next turn. And with having Indeedee female, we'll be able to hit Follow Me. That way the beat up from Whimsicott will go on our Indeedee, not the Terrakion, and we'll be able to survive that way. Obviously, if Terrakion's at like, you know, +4 attack, we're not going to live that. We're not going to live that Max Steel Strike, but that's why we have Follow Me. Pretty nice. But this is definitely a strategy I'm going to be looking at. As you know, I love Hatterene, so getting a Expanding Force spam mode of Hatterene sounds really fun to me, and I'm definitely going to be giving that a try. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed just seeing what some of the popular teams are going to be coming out of the Series 5 for online ranked battles. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these teams. Do you think these are good strategies, or are there other strategies that you guys are thinking about using? Let me know in the comments. I would definitely like to check those out. Thanks so much for watching this, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one.